E.T. is a zombie.
He just masturbated until he was coming blood.
Do you really want to start calling Chris dead?
Who doesn't love giant monsters?
Jerks.
Yeah. You ever see Magic Mike? It's going to be just like that.
It's the #1 pizza podcast.
Are you thinking of Newhart?
The podcast is dying.
I don't like Lucas doing Star Wars.
Sucking chin, sucking chin, sucking chin. I'm too lazy to do a podcast, so I appear on other people's podcasts. This is PodCRASH with that Chris Gore. Welcome to the show. I am that Chris Gore. This is PodCRASH. This is the show where you get to hear me as a guest each week on a different podcast. You get to discover new shows. I get to talk about a variety of topics. This week, pizza, games, and zombies. There will be eating involved in this podcast, which is weird because I actually just ate. I did one of those things where I looked at what I had to eat, and I decided I would eat something that people normally don't have for breakfast, which is cake. Cake for breakfast. Why not have cake for breakfast? Isn't cake just a differently shaped muffin? People have muffins for breakfast all the time. It's a rectangular muffin. That's what cake is, and that's what I just had for breakfast. So you do that too. I know you do that. I know you eat things for different types of meals that you don't have to. Now, breakfast is kind of the meal that you can have anytime, right? That's the late night meal. Breakfast is it's the best of all the meals. Let's face it. Before we get to pizza, games, and zombies, because you requested it and I mentioned it, I am selling the Rapid Fire DVD box that I used on Attack of the Show for years, which was created by the amazing people at the G4 art department, and then was modified by me. I actually added wheels to the back of it, which were from a lawnmower that I had a lawnmower for years. It didn't work, and I was going to throw it away, and I thought maybe I can use those wheels for something. So I took the sort of rear, these sort of big wheels, put like little tiny wheels in the front. Then so I jacked it up. Then I added a couple little things like this. It looks like it's, nitrous gas on one side. I added some lights to it. I modified it, but I did not create it. And that was the Rapid Fire DVD box. You can actually find it on eBay. You can just look up DVD Rapid Fire box on eBay. And I'm also, because I'm going through this thing where I've got all my possessions now in one place. This has not happened in 7 years. I had stuff in storage. I had stuff in the attic of another house. I now am living in a place in downtown LA where I have all of my things in one space. I also happen to be living in a space that's one of these loft spaces that has no closets and no rooms. The only room you can actually close off is the bathroom. So I'm surrounded by my possessions, and I have way too many things. I feel like I've collected. I feel like now, it's like that Indiana Jones warehouse scene, but everything is unboxed. And I've organized it in such a way as to you can actually see stuff, but I have too much stuff. So I am going through a purge. I am selling artwork and whatnot on eBay and stuff that from Film Threat magazine from way back, a cover painting of Karen Carpenter actually that was from an old issue of Film Threat and just original artwork from Film Threat's past by Glenn Barr, Brian Clark, Rick Morris. I've just had these things for years. I've looked at them for years. They're beautiful pieces of art, but I just have too much. I have too many things, so I'm purging. So if you want to check that out, look that up on eBay. You'll enjoy just looking at it. I think you'll enjoy that. And it's curious because I think the Rapid Fire box was Kevin Smith's store bid on it. Silent Bob's Jay and Silent Bob's Stash, his store, and isn't that what it's called? But anyways, so Kevin Smith's store bid on the DVD Rapid Fire box. So that would be great if they bought it and just sort of threw it up in the store. Otherwise, it's available to you at a low rate. I know a lot of you have asked me to be doing DVD reviews and whatnot on the show. I'm not gonna comment on any film stuff today, except to say I just saw the weirdest. But because I like to comment on a lot of different things, thus the whole premise of this show. I can talk about TV, video games, movies, weird stuff, a lot of weird stuff. But the strangest thing I have now seen on television in years that I can't describe. I'm not endorsing or saying this show is great. I'm saying I'm fascinated by it because it is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in television. I think reality TV was kind of a thing that was a trend. It was very bizarre. And I think this is something that is, it's an amalgam of reality TV and the internet, and it's a 24 hours a day, 7 days a week channel that is like chat roulette where people compete. And for each minute that the person, during certain hours of the day, when each minute that a person stays on and is interesting, so you have the screen is split. It's called Battle Cam, by the way, which you can watch this on battlecam.com, or it's actually Channel 64 on DirecTV. Again, I am not endorsing this. I'm saying it's now become a weird obsession. Like, you know, with anything like, oh, I watched House of Cards on Netflix and I just watch next episode. There's the little countdown clock that says 13 seconds. I'll watch the next episode of House of Cards. I wasn't trying to talk about it at a show, but yes, I've started to watch House of Cards on Netflix, and it's brilliant. Kevin Spacey's brilliant. I could watch him do that kind of role forever. I mean, he's such a great asshole. God, I love Kevin Spacey when he's an asshole. In any case, so this battle cam thing are these two split screens, one person on one side, one on the other. And for every minute you stay on, you get $10 during certain hours of the day. And it is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There isn't any other programming. There's no other shows. There is one show playing all the time on this channel, and it is Battle Cam. It's a collection of drug addicts, reality show rejects, meth addicts, gangbangers, scary frickin' people from all over. And it's fascinating. It's sort of like, these are the people that were too violent or creepy for reality TV. And so they're now on Battle Cam. In fact, what's funny is they actually tried to do a reality show that was like a Big Brother for a bunch of people that are popular on Battle Cam. They called it Battle Cam House. It lasted about 2 days because the cops shut it down. And Andy Dick happened to appear on it. It was weird. Again, I'm not endorsing this. I'm just saying I'm fascinated by it because I've never seen anything like it. And I could see them doing like a celebrity battle cam. I mean, wouldn't it be weird? Like this is what everyone's trying to do, whether it be in social media and entertainment. Be interesting long enough that I will continue to watch you. Whether you're a comedian, whether you're a musician, whether it's scripted television, I don't care what it is. Be interesting. So I will stay on and I will watch another minute. And this show, this 24 hours a day network just sort of devolves that into the most simple thing, which is it's just you. People do these weird dares where they'll pierce themselves on camera, or they'll just do weird, insane crap. Now it is the signal that's actually on the TV is actually, I guess I'd call it PG-13, borderline R, but there's not swearing and nudity. So they do censor it. You do have to kind of go through a filter to actually get on television. But it is sort of, it's idiocracy 24/7. I'm fascinated by it. It's become my screensaver in the background. It's just watching this. So, I'm curious what you think. So tweet at me at that Chris Gore. What do you think of Battle Cam? This is strange. I don't know. I've thought about for a minute, like going on it just to fuck with some of the people. Cause that's what I would do. If I went on Battle Cam, I would just fuck with people. That would be my intent. But what do you guys think? Check out Battle Cam because my thoughts on it have not complete. Other than the fact that I think it's an incredible innovation that I think if this were a network TV show, it would be amazing. It would be incredible. Be interesting. You get to stay on for another minute until the next person who's more interesting blows you off. Whoa! Just almost had my microphone fall on me. Okay, I think that's enough talk about Battle Cam. I think that's a sign. All right, let's get to this week's crash. Pizza, games, and zombies. And before that, I gotta say that I am proudly part of the Sideshow Network, which is the distributor for this show on iTunes and everywhere. Sideshow Network has other shows like Caleb Bacon's Man School, Zane Lamprey's show, Phil Hendry's show, Tommy Chong's show, and the Jerky Boys. Just go to sideshownetwork.tv and you'll discover more shows like. If you like PodCRASH, you're going to like a lot of their other shows. All right, let's get to Pizza, Games, and Zombies. It's hosted by Sam Proof, Robert Chan, and Art Tebel. And Sam, you would know. He's like this actor writer who's you know him as Raz on the Tim and Eric Awesome Show. Great job. He is okay. So he's Raz. So it's awesome. So he's been a guy who's been doing like YouTube videos and for years and web series. He was one of these early dudes. And every week, Sam gets together with his buddies, Robert and Art, and they play a new board game. Okay, and then they eat a pizza, and then afterward they review the pizza and the game. And then occasionally they have guests. Now, it's interesting. This episode was actually streaming live on Stickcam. And Pizza Game Zombies was one of the highest rated shows on Stickcam. And this is, okay, so I just learned that Stickcam is actually ceasing operations at the end of February. There will be no Stickcam. And Sam actually just started an Indiegogo campaign to raise $5.2 million to buy Stickcam and keep it going. So that's weird. You can go to indiegogo.com/projects/occupy-stickcam. That is weird. So, wow, Stickcam is no longer. I mean, Stickcam was a big part of Attack of the Show history. I mean, we would have fans of the show on Stickcam. I would do chats on Stickcam. So that's really sad to hear about Stickcam. I hope Sam can raise that money, but $5.2 million, that's a lot. In any case, so went over to Pizza Games and Zombies, and my buddy Patrick Ian Moore from Comic Book Live, he actually introduced me to this show, and said, hey, you should be on that show, because we have, of course, our zombie-themed PodCRASH this Saturday, February 23rd, 8 p.m. at IO West in Hollywood. Go to ioimprov.com/west. You'll get information about it at 6366 Hollywood Boulevard. That's this Saturday for live PodCRASH. And then Comic Book Live, we're going to be doing the series finale of The Walking Dead. I think I'm playing Merle. Because I'm gonna modify my Ash costume that I have. I have an Ash costume from a while back. I'm pretty sure I can sort of modify that into a Merle. In any case, so I wanted to be on a zombie podcast, and Patrick told me about it, and we recorded on a Sunday night, and it was I bring my girlfriend to it, which probably ended up being a mistake, because she was 9 sheets to the wind. She was plastered. She drank a bunch of Jameson. She was plastered, which I don't have a problem with. The problem is you can hear her in the background, and she's making jokes, and she's funny. I mean, she's a comedian in her own right. And you can follow her at Mary Forrest on Twitter. But the thing is, she would not get on the microphone. So there's only like 4 microphones. We're all on microphone. She's making hilarious comments and screaming in the background, and you can kind of hear her in the background in the distance. But because she's not a microphone, you can just sort of hear her distantly making jokes that we're responding to, but you can't hear her. So that happens every once in a while, but not a big deal. But it was recorded in this garage, which was freezing, and then the video signal kept cutting out, which kept interrupting the podcast. But the great thing about this show, PodCRASH, is you only hear the highlights. We cut out the boring stuff. You're only going to get the sort of snippets of goodness from Pizza Games and Zombies, which was most of it. And also a delicious pizza. So let's get to it. Pizza Games and Zombies from Sam Proof's garage.
To clarify, though, there are a fair number of people that don't like pizza, being that they're gluten-free or they're
you can
vegan.
find gluten-free
They
pizza
make
now.
gluten-free pizza.
As far as board games go, there's a lot of people that don't like board games, we've
Well,
found.
so far,
Well, depends on
we've
how
had
simple,
experience
like-
with one. 2, actually.
but Chutes and Ladders, have you guys played that yet?
There are degrees of board games.
That would be like on the lower
What are we
scale.
going to do? Shoots and ladders, like
But I feel
shot
like
glasses.
there could be a thing where you take all those children's
That's shots
games
and ladders.
you played as a kid. Break the ice. What's that one? Mousetrap.
good
And then
game.
what's the other one where you pull the sticks out and then all the marbles? It's not pick up sticks. It's
Yeah, what the hell is that called?
I want to say Don't Wake Daddy.
And there's Hungry
it's not
Hungry
right.
Hippos.
Yeah.
I feel like there are drinking games that you could translate.
Sure.
You could take all those children's games and do drinking game versions of all of those kids' games. Shoots and Ladders with there could be shots and something else.
Well, I think the game
Shots and Ladders.
Yeah, shots and ladders.
Shooters and ladders.
Right.
Shooters and
Well, that's just oysters and ladders.
shots and
Oh, God. Oh, yeah.
You could take Shoots and Ladders, call it Shots and Lager. I was just thinking that.
Nice.
Patrick Ian Moore, who's
I
author,
think,
where brains are in sync. Yeah, but you could take every children's bad, cheesy, fun board game that we
Right.
all grew up with, and you could make it a drinking game.
I think the game of life would be
The game of life would be the best.
best and
Maybe,
most
but
But
depressing.
you can't drink until you get to
Things have to
college
go horribly
or
wrong.
What about Monopoly? How would you do Monopoly, as a drinking game?
you drink when you're poor.
Right.
You
But
drink.
you drink when you collect rent.
You drink at the end of each round, and what you drink depends on how much money you have.
And then you make
again.
you make bathtub moonshine when you're in jail. That's what you do with that.
It would be kind of it would be fun. It would be kind of take a little bit of setup, but I think you could. Yeah, just having like 5 or 6 tiers of drinks. And you just drink after each round, and the low tier is your moonshine. You can buy moonshine these days.
Because having played this game, King of Tokyo, which who doesn't love giant monsters?
Jerks.
Yeah.
Just the jerks.
Only
Jerks
evil
don't.
Adolf Hitler hates giant monsters.
But like, okay, giant monster. Let's talk about giant monster movies where there's a man in a suit. Because you have to distinguish, right? Because they've made those the movies where
The new
they're-
Godzilla.
Yeah.
New Godzillas are like digital
Cloverfield.
crap.
Cloverfield.
Yeah, no, I like man in suit.
Cloverfield.
I will,
I
however,
feel like
say
I have a guilty pleasure. For
I will say that that trailer for Pacific Rim fucking blew me away. I'm
Really?
so
Pretty
excited
good. It
about
does
it.
look pretty good.
Really.
Well, it's just giant robots fighting giant monsters.
Yeah.
It's Guillermo del Toro, and he hasn't made a bad film yet. He's made like maybe borderline ones, but I mean, all signs point towards this being an amazing
It's true.
film. Just that my 8-year-old self, that watched Robotech and Godzilla, just like, oh, you're making a thing that looks like it's real, and it's a feature film. I so hope it turns out.
You're
well.
hard.
I have a hard penis right now.
It's a chubby.
No, the first time he saw that trailer, he just masturbated until he was coming blood.
But that was the lightning bolt on the dice, right? That was the result from that.
Yeah.
Let's get into this really quick. So this is King of Tokyo, which is basically you take all your favorite giant monsters and
some, like,
turn it
you've never seen
into
before.
King of the Hill.
Start out by giving it its proper title. Richard Garfield, King of Tokyo.
It is actually just Richard Garfield.
Nowadays, people are the designers are putting their names on top of games. They're becoming celebrity game designers,
Yeah.
and one of them obviously is the guy who created Magic the Gathering.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
But Richard Garfield, what other games has he created?
Magic the Gathering.
Oh,
You don't
a pretty
need to
big
create
game.
any
Pretty
other
much the
games.
biggest
Yeah.
trading game ever.
Yeah, it's
But
kind of a big
this
game.
is specifically Richard Garfield, King of Tokyo, not Richard Garfield's King of Tokyo. He is the King of Tokyo.
He is the King of Tokyo.
That is the game we're playing.
So he didn't put a possessive on there. That is sort of arrogant.
Richard Garfield, colon.
Well, it's like,
King of Tokyo.
Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
Well, Magic the Gathering, kind of a big, and honestly, I've never played Magic the Gathering, and I've even made fun of people who play Magic the
Absolutely.
Gathering.
Oh yeah, no,
You
that's
know?
the thing.
even though we've played it, we still make fun of other people.
right. You're self-hating Magic the Gathering players. But I gotta say, it was really fun. Like, because I think I liked it because it was quick. You know, it was
Sure.
just like, it was very short attention span, which look at the monkey! I'm pretty much a short attention span. So this, I think, being like the skill level, it was like easy to understand. You told me the rules because I didn't even understand them as we were playing, but I still did. I did okay. I hung in there.
I'd agree.
I hung in there.
All the
Well, and
games
it
were
says
close.
30 minutes, and I think our second game was dramatically less.
It seemed like 5 to 7.
It was sort of like, it was like 10 minutes and it
Probably
was
about
done.
15.
Maybe with 6 players, you get to 30.
Maybe.
I feel like that might go even faster. I think.
Well,
It
6
says
players,
2 to
there's
6
2
players.
people in Tokyo, because there's
that's
Tokyo, there's
true.
Tokyo Bay.
I feel like people get knocked out faster. I think the less players you have, the longer it's going to go.
I went through the rules
Maybe. I don't know.
because I felt like maybe we had missed something and
Right.
we were playing it a lot faster than we were supposed
Based
to.
don't
on
think
the
we were.
tutorial video I saw, this seemed accurate.
Okay.
Oh, really? There's a tutorial
There
video.
is, yeah. You can find it
that's
on
awesome.
YouTube. So yeah, let's give a quick sum up of how this game works. Art, I think
You
has
just
the
want
best
to say that
knowledge.
because you want to get to the results.
No. We'll get to that. we'll get to that. I won't. After,
You basically play Yahtzee, and then stuff happens.
right.
That's it. You described it. It's you play Yahtzee effectively.
It's
Yeah.
kind of a cross between Yahtzee and Farkle because you got that thing where like how long can you stay in Tokyo?
Wait, it was like just for the
racking up
people at
victories.
home that don't know what Farkle is. Can you explain?
it's just like
King of
Also
Tokyo.
for me, because I don't understand what Farkle is.
For a little while there was a craze on Facebook where it was one of those games where how does it work?
When you say craze, I think thing I ignored. But go on. Get more PodCrash. See exclusive videos and live shows at youtube.com/PodCrashTV. Like our videos and subscribe. Now back to pizza, games, and zombies.
All right, so this week's pizza was from Ario's Pizza.
Ario's?
Ario? He probably said it on
The very best pizza since 1985.
which is
the
the mark
very
of
best.
Yeah.
excellence.
But I think we all know before 1985 there was no good
No
pizza
good
in the
pizza
world.
at all. And we got the...
But the first thing I noticed about that menu
Is that it
was
got ripped?
they misspelled
they did misspell a
There's
bunch
all
of
sorts
things.
of typos in there, and I don't
What
trust.
did we get? We got the Italian and the ricotta.
Yeah.
So the ricotta is basically a margarita pizza
With ricotta.
with ricotta cheese, which is great. That's fantastic.
I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, I liked it.
And then the Italian was salami, artichoke, broccoli, and oregano.
I thought the Italian was the better of the two pizzas because it was just so, I don't know, it just was more flavorful. Was that what we were saying?
And you don't get artichoke a lot. Artichoke's a rare
I
pizza
was pretty
flavor.
psyched to get an artichoke pizza, yeah.
But I like the other one better.
I also like the other one better.
Oh, look at
I'm
us.
down to
It's a split decision, so to speak.
So we'll see how that pans out at the end. The biggest problem was that they took over an hour and 10 minutes to get here, although it was still warm.
How far away are they?
They're in Van Nuys, so they're really not that
Close-ish.
far.
Well, if we remember last time, Van Nuys is too far to deliver pizzas.
yeah, from that other guy's place. But these guys didn't care.
Acted like we were...
They were in. They were like, we're doing it.
Nice.
He just said they were really busy, which he did stipulate the first call and then again on the second call. So
You should have said that when we were freaking out.
yeah.
Did they know that their pizza was going to be featured on a podcast?
No, they did not.
Because
We did not.
I kind of feel like you need to tell these pizza places, like, by the way, you're kind of on the biggest pizza podcast on iTunes.
accurate.
Just so you know.
Chris Gore, does that name ring a bell? Because he's going to be tasting your pizza right now.
It doesn't ring a bell, but I feel like the pizza thing should.
We should have bells.
I
guess
feel like-
is the lesson.
I feel like do people who deliver pizzas know? I feel like they would know podcasts because they're in a car
all day long.
and they're
That's
probably
true.
bored.
They
They would
are
be
our
listening to
demographic.
podcasts.
They really probably are.
So next time we
demographic.
just call and be like,
Can you-
excuse me, I must say I'm kind of like a
This
big
sounds
deal.
like a pizza thing to do, but couldn't
We
you say that
have
you're,
had sponsored pizzas before.
couldn't you just say this is the #1 pizza podcast on iTunes? I feel like why are we not saying that?
we probably could.
Sam, why are we not saying that?
We just
right
said it.
now. It's the
just
#1
happened.
pizza podcast on iTunes. The #1.
Shaking.
It's the world's greatest pizza podcast. Also talk of games and zombies. But the #1 pizza podcast on iTunes.
We are the very best pizza podcast since 1985.
You could say the finest pizza podcast.
When all of us were
finest
definitely
pizza podcast.
born.
Right. Yeah.
We did. The other podcast that we do, we call the #1 movie podcast on the internet, which is actually true because it's a podcast about the #1 movie.
That's right.
So it's just about.
That's brilliant marketing. That's brilliant marketing. The #1 movie podcast.
On the
It's the number. Oh, that's great. On the that's
Yes.
brilliant.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Wordplay.
Oh my God, that is
that was
brilliant.
good.
But it's just you two guys talking, right?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Sometimes we have guests, but usually when we're sick of a movie because it's been repeating. Also, chance stop going to the movies. I'm the only one going to the movies.
What
#1
did
movies
you
are
guys talk about
terrible.
recently?
Well, this year has been Texas Chainsaw 3D.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
Zero Dark 30,
Yeah.
Mama, and tomorrow I'm going to
Yeah.
see Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters.
Sadly, that last one is the most appealing to me.
Hansel and Gretel?
They all sound terrible.
Yeah, they sound
Zero Dark
awful.
30 won awards.
That was great. Zero Dark 30 was great.
Yeah.
I just don't want to see gratuitous torture right now.
Well, the gratuitous torture is
Right now?
mostly over after the first 25 minutes.
This month? What is it about January that makes you against gratuitous torture?
Gloomy.
The rest of the year, though, we're cool. Come March, man. Fucking
Yeah, that's
pile
right.
it on.
Well, it'll be too bright and sunny out. It's already gloomy.
Just
in
watch
general.
Fox News, and that's pretty much gratuitous torture. Right?
Yeah, there you
Good.
go.
Good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
By Valentine's Day, everyone just wants gratuitous torture.
Yeah,
Right.
it's too syrupy, sugary, and you want something to put the edge.
So
on.
you have to see Hansel and Gretel for your podcast?
On my
can't
blog,
even
I've done this.
imagine.
I did this all of 2012, and this is my second year doing it.
I just don't know how did that even get to be #1.
Nothing else was out.
That's so stupid.
It made like $17 million, but nothing
yeah,
else.
that's lame.
Now our audience here is paying attention, and could probably, while we're trying to do a podcast, be a little bit quieter.
Yeah, I mean,
Wait. Shh, let's just be quiet for the audience. No, I'm just saying that, you probably should be quiet.
Jeremy Renner is the opposite of cute, I believe was the last.
Right.
I like Jeremy Renner.
You like his looks?
Yeah, he's I don't know, there's something about him that just
I
trust
think,
him.
guys, ready? Where's the giant thing that we pull? Suck it, Chan!
Oh, God. Don't actually do it.
And a giant dick comes out of the floor. It's like a Tremors. It's like a giant Tremors dick comes
What
out
do you
of the
think
floor.
the green screen's here for?
Suck it, Chan!
Had an 18-foot crane.
Suck it, Chan. I would love to talk about a topic I've never heard on any zombie podcast that I've heard, and I've listened to 2 of them around.
Excellent.
So up
Is
to
one
8.
So there's another
where there are
podcast we need to fight.
characters in movies that, by definition, died and
became
rose
zombies.
and are effectively zombies, but
It's
are
not called that.
They're just not called zombies.
Like Superman.
Like
For
Jesus.
example,
Jesus would be a good one.
Jesus would be all the Jesus movies that have been made. Jesus, zombie. In fact, have you ever seen a movie called Ultra Christ? I have to totally recommend
that
this movie.
sounds amazing.
It's on Netflix. Okay, Ultra Christ is a movie about Jesus. He comes back during the present day, and they just look at him and they think, you look like a hobo. So he's like, hey, I'm Jesus. I've got superpowers. He actually goes to some hipster clothing store in New York and gets a superhero costume and he fights Hitler. So it's like
Wow.
present day New York, and it's Jesus in a superhero costume fighting
Where did
Hitler.
Hitler
Thank
come
you.
from?
I don't know.
Where
But
did
it's a great
Jesus
movie.
come
Thank
from?
you. And
Why did you ask that question?
So there's
Resurrection's
Jesus.
kind of his
So
thing.
Jesus, but there are other characters in fiction that have died and risen from the dead. Spock. In Star Trek 3, The Search for
Sure,
Spock
yeah.
would have been extremely disappointing had Spock not been in the movie. Not a great Star Trek movie, let's be honest. Not
Much worse without Spock.
Much worse without Spock. But I mean, he died and came back.
Yeah.
Effectively, it's zombie Spock.
Gandalf.
Gandalf. Oh my God,
Like
Gandalf is a zombie.
Yep.
Oh my God! Wow. Batman from Dark Knight Rises. Batman, Patrick Ian Moore just
He
threw out.
doesn't die.
No, yeah.
No.
He faked it.
Yeah, but he came back in around.
He didn't
and Lazarus.
physically die.
Oh, in the comics.
He
yeah.
he rises
The
from the
comics,
Lazarus.
everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
The movie.
Right.
Well, the Dark Knight Rises, he kind of comes back, but he sort of tricks his own death.
Yeah.
Yeah, faking your own-
Which must suck. I mean, when Alfred sees him, it's like, doesn't he go over there and say, "Dude, you faked your death? I'm pissed. I raised you as my son. I'm Alfred."
Yeah, but
Wouldn't
also,
you be pissed off
he
at
walks away
Bruce
with all
Wayne?
this cash. You're like, ah, cool, I'm retired.
Not
I'm
that
done,
much
so-
cash, because wasn't he wiped out? I don't know. That's a good one.
Wiped
Wow.
out for super rich and wiped out for regular people.
Also,
That is different.
Frankenstein's monster is a zombie.
Oh, definitely.
But
Yeah.
that's,
There's no question about
Frankenstein's
that.
monster, Jesus. Is someone writing these down? Who's keeping track? Frankenstein's monster, Spock,
Neo.
Gandalf.
Gandalf's the coach.
Well, Neo, wait a sec. Did he die?
yeah.
He gets shot. He dies.
Does
In the
he
first
die?
one,
Right. I'm trying
he
to remember.
flatlines.
And then yeah, he dies.
Yeah.
Oh.
He dies.
Hey, from the audience here, Mary Forrest says Frankenweenie. Frankenweenie was a zombie.
Yeah.
All right, wow. What else? Come on, we've contributed
by that
a bunch.
definition,
You guys kind of suck.
Whatever Keith or Sutherland's character
Wait.
in Flatliners was.
Donald Sutherland character.
Keith or Sutherland.
Every single time Wolverine comes back.
Get on microphone if you're going to suggest ideas.
We're not doing
can't.
comics.
We're
There's too
not.
many
You got to be
comics.
microphone.
Yeah,
Does
everyone
Phoenix
in the
die
comics.
in the movie?
Phoenix dies in the
She
movie.
does, but we
in
don't see her
X-Men
come
3.
back yet.
X-Men
Oh,
3.
wait. I guess we do.
X-Men 2 she dies. X-Men 3 she comes back.
No,
X-Men
is it
3
X-Men?
she dies and doesn't
No,
come
wait.
back.
She hasn't come back yet. We haven't seen
Wait
her
a
come
sec.
back.
She
She will.
No, the X-Men movie, she dies and comes back.
Right.
Yes,
Only
okay.
once.
Phoenix.
Mimicking the
Yeah.
original source material
Right.
of the comics.
Right. Okay. All right. Let's keep going.
Oh,
Lazarus.
jeez. Wasn't one of the Daryls on Bewitched? I think that's accurate.
Zombie.
Darren, thank you. Sorry. That's how much
Zombie
I watched
Darren.
that.
Yeah,
Daryl, you're
Daryl's
thinking of
Newhart.
Walking Dead. You're thinking of Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Are you thinking of Newhart?
Yeah.
Larry,
that's-
Daryl, and Daryl.
Yeah, one of the
second
Da-
Daryl
Did
died
I just say
and came
that?
back.
It's
I did not hear it. That's
Okay,
why
wait a
I'm
sec.
asking.
There's got to be a ton more. Come
Sure.
on, go. Obi-Wan. Well, they're ghosts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jedi.
ghosts.
That doesn't really count. They're ghosts. They're not
he didn't
zombies.
come back to life.
I'd
Yeah.
say Vader more than...
No,
He
but
never
Vader.
died.
He's a cyborg. Then you'd have to.
Although I hear a
Robocop.
rumor. Okay, I don't know how big of Star Wars fans you are.
Ish.
Okay, ish. I hear, you know, J.J. Abrams is directing Star Wars Episode 7.
Not happy about it.
Which will,
I'm
all right.
I'm all
Ever
right with
since
it.
Alias, JJ
Yes.
has been tits.
I like him. I don't like him doing Star Wars.
Why not?
Let's hear it.
Whatever.
Throw down.
I don't like
Oh.
Lucas doing Star Wars, so come on.
I don't like anyone doing Star Wars.
All right.
Okay, yeah, if you're
We
against
don't- we
Star
don't-
Wars, period.
We're not doing
then sure.
Godfather 4.
cool,
Let's
do
not
it.
do Star Wars 7.
Are
Did
you
they make
equating
Lethal Weapon
Godfather
4?
with-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
with
so
Jet
there
Li.
you go. I feel like when you get to 4, you're kind of, oh, well, they made Episode 1 was kind of 4.
Yeah.
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 Trek 4 was
Well,
awesome.
then
Star Trek 4.
4 is pretty
Oh, it
decent.
is.
I don't like
Hard
Star
to
Trek anything.
5 or something. What?
In any case, if I might bring up, okay, so they're making a new Star Wars movie. I am told through sources that I want that
Oh,
Disney desperately wants the return of Darth Vader. Darth Vader. They want Darth Vader to return to the Star Wars
Deal breaker.
series. Now, wait a sec. Would it be a clone of Anakin Skywalker to seduce? No, I'm just saying. Wait, you got to be mic'd. You can't make comments unless you're mic'd.
Agreed.
Yeah,
right.
Peanut Gallery. Fuck you guys. Get on a
Thank
mic.
you.
Put your balls on the
We should
table
just get a
with
audience boom.
the pizza
Nope.
and join us.
Don't
Balls
put your balls
near
on the pizza.
my pizza?
Balls on
I
the
don't
pizza.
want them on.
We have the
there.
rest of our lives after this show to discuss it with the rest of the people in this room.
In any case, I'm told that Disney wants the return of Darth Vader because it was such a great. He's one of the greatest movie villains
Right,
of all
right,
time.
right.
Made less great by those prequels. But
well, that's a
now they
different-
want Darth Vader to return. How would he return? As a clone, mechanized? Would it be another Dark Jedi or another Sith dressing as Darth Vader to fuck with Luke? What do you think?
Zombie Vader.
Ooh, that is.
What do you think of that?
Well, now I am not as on board. 'Cause
I'm-
I
yeah,
feel
No,
like-
I'm saying that's what Disney wants. I'm
Right,
not saying
right,
that's what's going to happen.
But I'm saying, I'm cool with them with Disney buying Star Wars, putting
Yeah.
out a number 7, because I think let's take it out of Lucas's hands. He's
Sure.
he's
Did you hear
proven
that
he's
they're? This is the rumor I was hearing, and it's not episode. It's on numbered episode, but they also want to do like other Star Wars movies because there's a lot of
lost. Oh, I'm good.
there's a lot of money in that.
Yeah.
And they were seriously entertaining a Zack Snyder helmed samurai style Jedi movie, which I would rather watch
What
a
would it
2-hour
be?
movie of one of my family members being killed.
That's the worst thing I've ever heard of.
There have been a lot of rumors about Star Wars recently, of course, because they're making Star Wars Episode 7. They're supposed to be making standalone Star Wars movies, which are like standalone characters. They have nothing to do with the canon of the trilogies and the episodes. They're just a Yoda movie, like Yoda as like a young samurai. This is what's been rumored. I'm not saying there's anything solid about this. A Boba Fett movie, including a young Han Solo movie, how he befriends Chewbacca, and it's sort of a Butch and Sundance kind of thing. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid with a young Han Solo and Chewbacca. I think that would be really cool. Although I'd feel kind of sorry for that actor playing a young Han Solo. That person they could be typecast forever as that. But including, I hear that there's another. Is it Timothy Zahn has another series of books called Scoundrels, which is basically like Ocean's 11 with Han Solo and a bunch of bounty hunters. Which sounds like I got to pick that up. But I'm pretty sure that all the Star Wars rumors we've been hearing have been false. I am personally looking forward to it just because I enjoy the experience surrounding Star Wars more than the actual movies these days. I like talking to friends about it. I like waiting in line, not overnight. Maybe for a couple hours, I'll wait in line. I like everything. I like the trailers, the marketing. I love everything about Star Wars. I've loved except for the last 3 movies. But in any case, so I am looking forward to it. Just that even though I recently had the opportunity to actually visit the ranch, which a buddy of mine works there, and said, "Hey, come visit the ranch because we don't know what's going to happen with Disney owns." Star Wars now. We don't know what's going to happen. Come visit the ranch, while you're up in the Bay Area. And I did. And it was awesome. And of course, I learned nothing because they don't even know anything. But it was just it was so great to revisit that sort of like that bygone era, that like the sort of the classic trilogy stuff, surrounded by props and whatnot. I just got to see Luke's lightsaber sitting there in the ranch in a glass case, inches from my nose. Oh my God. And the worst part is I can't post any of the photos because when you go there, you gotta you can't. I would love to post the pictures. I was allowed to take pictures. I can't post any because there's just, out of respect, they just say, please, you're not supposed to post any photos from the ranch because so I haven't, but I saw it and I'm telling you about it. So my memories are preserved in audio for me to tell you. George Lucas has quite a record collection too. It's pretty amazing. All right, back to pizza, games, and zombies.
So many times, though, in science fiction and fantasy, they bring characters back after killing them off. And okay, just even in comic books alone, how many times have we all been tricked with Batman standing there, and there's Robin in tattered Robin outfit, which who knows why he wears, like,
well, he was dead for 25 years.
Here's Batman saying, like, okay, I've got this bulletproof Kevlar suit, right? I'm wearing this, but you can have a costume. Yours is just going to be a little bit more
short shorts and a cape.
A little bit more colorful.
You ever see Magic Mike? It's going to be just like that.
It'll be just like that
with a cape.
Well,
so it's like, but it'll say, how many times have you seen in comic books, Robin dies this issue? Like, how many times have we been tricked into buying a comic book because a character dies? It happens in comic books so often, it's irritating.
Well, they kept that Robin dead for 25 years. They really wanted to keep him dead. 2, they did that by phone vote.
That's true.
Right.
And my mom used to work for DC Comics.
Oh, no.
And so I know the dirt on it.
Oh my God, your mom just became so fucking hot right now. I don't even know how to.
She's a widow. You can hit that.
Oh my God, your hot widowed mom. She's a wilf.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to
She's a wilf. Hashtag wilf.
Art, do you really want to start calling Chris Dad? Is that a thing that works for you?
Go on with this. I want to hear.
There was one guy who a lawyer in, I forget if it was Toronto or Detroit, but he just set up, because you had pay 50 cents a call. But he was a lawyer, so he had a lot of money. He set up his phone. He called enough times.
God.
He single-handedly killed Jason Todd.
Wow.
Nice.
That feels pretty good.
That's pretty awesome. That's democracy in action.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how our democracy works.
That is a hardcore
money at it.
hardcore nerd lawyer. Nerd lawyer sounds like an Adult Swim show.
That's
that's pretty good.
I can't believe we have only named just a few. This is just the tip of the zombie.
Well, every character
iceberg.
in comics. We can just say all
Go
of them.
for
Comics, yeah.
They killed
for
Batman.
Yeah, Superman, Batman, Captain America,
There's literally
Spider-Man.
Literally every Marvel
he has
character.
a back-
Spider-Man's dead now.
Yeah.
Well, sort of.
Wait a sec. Do you know what's going on?
Dr. Octopus is in his brain.
Well, they switch. It's like a brain swwitching movie from the 80s, but a comic book.
Yeah.
Basically,
it's
they
like
switch
Freaky Friday
brains,
if the
but then
mom
Doc Ock
died.
died with Peter Parker's spirit in him.
Pickle peppers.
But he's still somehow floating around. Who knows?
Oh my God. But every Marvel character was Marvel Zombies. That's
not continuity. You can't count.
Yeah, that's not really. That's sort of that's one of those alternate universe type things.
Yeah, Johnny Storm.
Johnny Storm, right, in the old Fantastic Four.
Even recently, they killed him off and brought him
Again?
back. Yeah. Johnny Storm is the Fantastic Four person you kill off and bring back.
Right.
Yeah.
Do we consider Rory to be a zombie?
Hal Jordan.
From
Hal Jordan, definitely.
Sorry.
Hal Jordan. Oh my God.
I went to Doctor Who.
We've gone off the rails for movies. Doctor Who, he regenerates. Is that dying? Is it zombie Doctor Who?
I don't think so, because I'm going to eliminate clones and any a sort of science fiction thing where they're not expressly that same person.
So they die and they're resurrected.
I don't think they actually die. I don't think Time Lords actually die. They just regenerate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
But does Rory?
E.T. is a zombie.
Yes.
E.T. Zombie E.T.
Yeah.
E.T. died. Mm-hmm. That's okay. Come on. We're beating them. Okay.
Every other episode of ER, any episode with a defibrillator.
Right.
You got zombies coming back.
Starman.
Starman.
You can plug this in, or it's gonna die.
Ooh. Oh, yeah.
Oh, quick break.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Be right back. Oh my God, the podcast is dying. The podcast is dying.
You're really it's getting PodCRASH.
Whoa, no.
Get the tacky.
I wonder if, because the Star Wars novels really scrape the bottom of the barrel when it comes to story content, I wonder if they could do a novel about Luke's hand. Luke's dead
Zombie
hand. Luke Skywalker's zombie
Wouldn't it just
dead
be like
hand.
that episode of Angel?
What do you mean?
There's the episode of Angel where Lindsay, the evil lawyer, gets someone else's hand, gets like a demon hand, and he goes evil.
That.
It's a good episode
Yeah.
because
No,
that guy's pretty awesome.
Vaguely remember
Why is
that.
it when things are resurrected from the dead, why can't they just be good?
Comes with a
Because for the same reason
monkey's
that
paw?
Are we still recording this?
strippers have always been diddled as kids. When
Right.
something really bad happens,
Wait a sec, strippers have always been diddled as kids. What do you mean?
I don't think
What?
every stripper was diddled as a kid.
Most of
strippers
them
have been
have been
messed up.
abused.
Yeah,
So I feel like if you go through something like that, you're going to be damaged. Damaged
know why.
evil.
Right.
There you go.
Wonder
Although-
Woman died and came back.
What was that?
Wonder Woman died and came back.
Sure.
Nobody cares about Wonder Woman.
No, obviously, or there'd be a Wonder Woman TV show and movie right about now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They shot that horrible pilot.
No. No, they didn't.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Adrian Curry? Is that her name?
What?
What?
Adrian what?
Curry?
Barbeau? No, Curry?
Barbaro? I don't remember her last
Should have
name.
been Olivia Munn.
Katy Perry? Was
Yeah,
it Katy Perry?
Katy Perry?
Oh, that would have been a good,
Oh,
good role.
nice.
That would have been. Yeah, I would have supported that for a minute. Just
Did
to
she
see what
die?
happened.
No,
Wonder
but her playing Wonder
Did Katy
Woman?
Perry die?
All right,
That
let's
doesn't
move on.
count. In fiction, in some way, in comics, the novels or movies where characters died and then were resurrected, which is a lot of them.
Yeah.
In the Bible, we've got that.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for this week's show. I really want to thank everyone from Pizza Games and Zombies, Sam Proof, Robert Chan, hey, suck it, Chan, and Art Tabell. Thank you. And thank you to Patrick Ian Moore for introducing me to the podcast. I also want to thank my girlfriend for just being so patient that night. It wasn't fun to be sitting around for hours as we had technical problems and sitting in this cold, bitter cold garage as Stickcam just kept going down. I'll tell you, Sam, if you do actually end up buying Stickcam, could you just make sure that it always works and doesn't go down all the time? Of course, you could just have a YouTube channel. Just have a YouTube channel. You got a YouTube channel. Do that. So you can follow the show at PGZcast on Twitter. You can find Pizza Games and Zombies on Facebook, and you can go to pizzagamesandZombies.com to get more of those three things, which are three kind of essential things. I think if you added bacon, if it was Pizza Games, Zombies, and Bacon, that could be a spin-off of it. It could be more popular than Stickcam. And I want to thank you for continuing to listen and support the show. You can follow me at that Chris Gore. You can follow the show at PodCRASH Show. You can also like us on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/PodCRASH, and you'll get information on all kinds of upcoming events, including our huge show at WonderCon, Saturday, March 30th at 7:30 p.m. Adrian Curry will be my guest, along with another special guest that I cannot announce, which is going to be awesome. And then we're also going to be performing. We'll be performing. Comic Book Live will be performing, and I can't say exactly what we're going to do because it's a surprise. It's a surprise for Adrian. She doesn't know about it, but Adrian Curry is going to be my guest. And if you don't know Adrian, look her up. I'm going to make your day. Google image her. Also, do me a favor. Go to iTunes and give the show a review. Give me 5 stars if you think I deserve it. But if you give the show a review, it helps other people discover the show, which helps me a lot. And I have one last thing to say. Let's get out of here.
All right, get back. Good now. Come on, baby. Take it, take the bait. Yeah, all right, all right. Yeah. Look at it! Yeah! Oh.
Hey, if you're still listening to this, you're probably a lot like me. You're the kind of person that watches all the end credits of a movie. and you're sitting around and you're looking at each other and there's maybe like 3 other people and you're all watching the end credits of a movie, and if you're the kind of person who does that, I like you. We're a lot alike. You might also be the kind of person who eats the crust of a pizza. And if you do that, then I really like you. We're very much alike. And for that, you shall be rewarded. Send a self-addressed stamped envelope to PodCRASH with that Chris Gore, 5042 Wilshire Boulevard, PMB 1500, Los Angeles, California, 90036. You will receive in return a PodCRASH fan club kit, absolutely free, with your self-addressed stamped envelope. And if you keep listening, here's a bonus piece of audio from the show. Later.
Colossus. Because Colossus's return...
From the comic books?
In the comic books. Because his return was one of my favorite moments in X-Men history. So I'm giving it to that for that reason.
I'm going to say that's the gayest choice of all of the choices that have been
It's a big metal Russian man?
I feel like if you
I'm
were
saying
gay
that these were
and you
clever
dated-
choices.
and you were dating a guy, Colossus would absolutely be your type.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Taking who was hitting on me at the running store today, I'm not sure.
Who was hitting on you at the running store?
There's a guy
The
who was
salesman.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I got hit on by a man and then dumped by a woman. So I think I should just be gay now.
Want all the inside info on this episode of PodCRASH? Go to podcrash.net to see show notes and more.